Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real simple, real clear, and real honest today. See, everybody talks about love like it's some kind of movie moment, but real love, genuine grown folk, put you first love, shows up in patterns. It's not about what a man says one time. It's about what he keeps doing. If he does something more than once, if he repeats that same action without you asking, without you reminding him, without you begging, baby, that man is gone, he's madly in love with you, a man's repeated actions reveal his real feelings, and that's the part most people overlook. See, anybody can do something once. Anybody can show up one time, impress you one time, act interested one time, but that first time don't mean nothing because people can fake anything for a moment. A man can smile at you, text you, flirt with you, even act like he cares. But if he never does it again, then it was just a moment, not a message. What matters is what he keeps doing after that first time. That's where the truth lives. Because consistency exposes intention and repetition exposes the heart. When a man keeps doing something without being asked, without needing a reminder, without you having to beg for the bare minimum, that's when you know his feelings run deep. A man who's not emotionally invested doesn't have the energy to repeat effort. He doesn't have the desire to keep showing up. He doesn't take the time to think about what you need, what you like, or what makes you feel secure. He might give you a little attention when he's bored, when he's lonely, or when he wants something. But that kind of behavior never lasts. It fades. It stops. It dies quickly because it was never real from the start. But a man who truly feels something for you, he can't help but repeat effort. He can't help but show you care over and over again. It's not a strategy for him. It's not a performance. It's his heart nudging him to stay connected to you. His actions start lining up with his emotions, and before you even realize it, his habits expose the love he's trying to keep calm. Men don't give repeated attention to women they don't care about. It doesn't matter how smooth he talks or how charming he is. If he doesn't keep showing up, he doesn't see you as someone worth the investment. But if he's showing up regularly, checking on you, helping you, remembering the little things, understand something: that man is paying emotional rent in your life. He's not passing through. He's not roaming. He's planting himself there. And he might not say the words out loud because a lot of men struggle to express themselves. But the truth is in what he does, not what he says. And when his actions repeat, that's his heart confessing what his mouth might be too scared to say. This is why women need to pay attention to patterns, not promises. Anyone can promise change. Anyone can promise effort. Anyone can promise love. But the man who loves you shows it through behavior that repeats like a heartbeat. He'll do something for you today, then tomorrow, then next week, because it matters to him. Because you matter to him, his consistency becomes a message louder than any declaration. It's him saying, without words, you are important to me, and I'm proving it every single time. Consistency is the purest form of love from a man because it shows you who he truly is when the excitement wears off and the pressure shows up. See, a lot of people can impress you at the beginning. Everybody is good at the honeymoon stage. Everybody can act right for a few days or a few weeks, but consistency is what happens when real life kicks in. It's what a man does when he's tired, when he's stressed, when he's busy, when he's tempted to pull back, when nobody is watching. That's when his truth comes out. And if that man still shows up for you with the same energy he had in the beginning, if he still cares for you the same way or even more than he did at first, then that's not a game. That's not a phase. That's real love operating quietly, powerfully, and sincerely. A man in love doesn't just give you effort, he gives you consistency. He doesn't just prove himself once, he proves himself every day in small ways and big ways. And it's not because he feels forced, and it's not because he's trying to impress you anymore. It's because you've become part of his world. You've become someone he thinks about without trying. You've become a priority he doesn't want to lose. That's why his consistency is so important. It's his heart talking through his habits. A man can tell you he loves you, but his consistency tells you he means it. When a man stops being consistent, he stops caring. That's facts. A man who's losing interest becomes unpredictable, distant, unreliable. He gives excuses instead of action. He becomes available only when it benefits him. But a man who truly loves you, you don't have to beg him for time, for respect, for attention, or for effort. He gives it freely because in his mind, loving you is not work, it's privilege. He doesn't see consistency as pressure, he sees it as purpose. And he knows that what you consistently show is what you value. So if he consistently shows up for you, that means he values you. Consistency is also how a man builds trust. Trust is not built by one big gesture. It's built by many small, steady ones. A man who remembers what matters to you, who checks in on you, who listens, who follows through on his word, who repeats good behavior without being asked, this is the man whose love is genuine. He's proving himself not by promises, but by patterns. Anyone can apologize. Anyone can say, oh, I'll do better. But the consistent man actually does better, and he keeps doing better because losing you is not an option he's willing to consider. And the beautiful thing about a consistent man is that his love becomes your safety. You don't have to question where you stand. You don't have to decode mixed messages. You don't have to live in anxiety or confusion. His consistency becomes your reassurance. It becomes your clarity. It becomes the quiet, steady proof that his love isn't temporary, isn't shaky, and isn't optional. It's real, rooted, and here to stay. If he does it more than once, it's intentional, not accidental. And that's what most people miss when they try to figure out whether a man is serious or not. See, an accident happens once. A coincidence happens once. A lucky moment, a temporary spark, a random gesture, those things show up one time and then disappear just as fast. But when a man repeats something, when he does the same thoughtful, caring, protective, or loving action more than once, that means he made a choice. It means he paid attention. It means he wanted the same outcome again. A man's repeated actions are not random. They are deliberate. They come from the heart, not from habit. People always assume men are simple. But when it comes to love, men are actually very calculated. They don't invest time where they don't feel something. They don't repeat behavior for someone they don't care about. A man who has no interest will show you that one time was enough. But a man who feels something real will keep showing up, keep trying, keep giving, because loving you is not a mistake he stumbled into. It's a decision he keeps making again and again. And that repetition is what separates interest from intention. Interest fades. Intention stays. You can tell a man's intention by the way he makes you feel consistently. If he's checking on you more than once, comforting you more than once, surprising you more than once, or going out of his way more than once, that's not a man who's confused. That's a man who sees value in you. He's investing energy because something about you reaches him on a deeper level. And men don't invest twice unless they know what they're doing. When he repeats his kindness, when he repeats his effort, when he repeats his attention, that is his way of saying, this wasn't an accident. I meant that a man might not always express his emotions clearly, but repeated actions are his language. That's how he speaks love. That's how he shows interest. That's how he sends the message he doesn't have the words for. If he hugs you a certain way more than once, if he listens to you closely more than once, if he protects you in small moments more than once, understand this, he's studying what makes you happy, what makes you safe, what makes you trust him. And a man only studies a woman he wants to keep. Even when a man is scared of his own feelings, his intentions leak out through his behavior. He may try to play it cool, but his actions bring him back to you. He may hide his emotions, but his patterns betray him. A man can fake words, he can fake interest, but he cannot fake repetition. That requires effort. That requires emotional investment. That requires desire. So if he does something for you again and again, that's not luck. That's not chance. That is proof that you matter to him on a level he may not even fully understand yet. His actions are telling you the truth long before his mouth does. That's intention, not accident. That's heart, not habit. That's real. Men repeat behaviors only for who they value, and that's the truth people need to start paying attention to. A man might be friendly to everyone, he might be charming, he might be polite, but effort, real, genuine, consistent effort, is reserved only for the woman he sees as important. Men don't give their energy to what they don't care about. They don't invest in what they see as temporary. They don't repeat behaviors for someone they're not emotionally tied to. So when you see a man doing something for you again and again, that's not just behavior. That's his heart choosing you every single time. Men are naturally protective of their energy, their time, and their peace. They do not go out of their way for everyone. They do not stretch themselves for people who don't matter. A man will only adjust his schedule, his habits, or his comfort for a woman he values deeply if he checks on you more than once, it's because he values your well-being. If he listens to your problems again and again, it's because he values your voice. If he repeats thoughtful gestures, it's because he values your happiness. Men don't repeat actions out of boredom. They repeat them out of care. A man who values you pays attention to you differently. He remembers the things you thought he forgot. He shows effort in places you didn't expect. He repeats certain things not because he's trying to impress you anymore, but because it has become instinctive to him. He wants to make your life easier, your mind calmer, and your days brighter. And that want doesn't come from attraction alone. It comes from value. Attraction fades. Value stays. Attraction makes him look at you once. Value makes him show up every day. Even men who are emotionally reserved show their value through consistency. He may not verbalize everything. He may not be the most expressive man. He may even struggle to communicate his feelings clearly, but his repeated behavior exposes everything he's trying to hide. A man will not repeatedly comfort someone he doesn't value. He will not repeatedly support someone who means nothing to him. He will not repeatedly choose time with someone who is not important in his heart. These repeated actions are his loudest confession. A man who values you also pays attention to how you react. He'll keep doing things more than once because he wants you to feel safe. He wants you to feel loved, and he wants you to feel appreciated. That's why his effort is steady. That's why his presence doesn't fade. That's why he shows up even on the days he's tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. Once a man sees real value in you, he will do whatever it takes not to lose you. He becomes intentional with his love. He becomes consistent with his affection. He becomes predictable in the best way because he is investing in someone he knows is worth the effort. So when you see a man repeating good behavior, understand something. He's not doing it for everyone. He's doing it for you. And the only reason he's doing it for you is because you hold a place in his heart that no one else does. His repetition is his respect. His consistency is his value, and his value is his proof. His effort speaks louder than his words ever could because words are easy. Anybody can say, I care about you. Anybody can promise, I'll do better. Anybody can tell you what you want to hear in the moment, but effort, consistent, repeated, sincere effort, that's a whole different language. That's a language most people can't fake for long. A man's effort is the truth he can't hide. It's the truth he shows even when he's tired, even when life is pressuring him, even when he's not in the mood. Effort exposes emotions in a way words never will because effort comes from intention, not impulse. Words can be emotional, but effort is always deliberate. A man doesn't make effort by accident. When a man is genuinely in love with you, his effort becomes part of his routine. It becomes a natural extension of how he feels about you. Even if he's not great with expressing his feelings verbally, even if he struggles to communicate what's on his heart, his actions fill the silence. He will show up for you. He will support you. He will commit to showing you again and again that you matter. And he won't wait for a special occasion to do it. his daily actions, checking up on you, remembering your comfort, listening to your stories, taking care of things without being asked. Those are his real love letters. Some men can sweet talk their way into your life, but they can't effort their way into your soul unless they really feel something. Sweet talk is temporary. Effort is expensive. It costs time, energy, thought, and emotional availability. A man won't invest all that unless you mean something to him. He might entertain someone for a little while with his words, but he will only build something real with his actions. And that is how you know the difference between a man who's interested and a man who's committed. One talks, the other shows. A man in love puts in effort because he wants to make your life easier. He wants to see you smile. He wants to be your safe place. That desire turns into action. You don't have to tell him twice. You don't have to beg for attention, respect, or quality time. He gives it willingly because he sees you as someone precious. And when a man sees you as precious, he guards you with effort. He protects you with effort. He loves you with effort. Effort also reveals consistency. A man may do something nice once to impress you, but repeating that same kindness over and over again, that's him saying, "This is who I am with you. This is who I choose to be for you." That's why effort speaks so loudly. It exposes character. Words can hide character, but effort reveals it. You can't pretend to be a good man every day. You can't fake commitment across weeks, months, and years. His repeated effort becomes proof of the kind of partner he is. When you watch his effort, you also learn what place you hold in his life. A man puts effort into what he doesn't want to lose. If he consistently tries, it means he fears the idea of life without you. If he works to understand you, it means he's trying to build a future with you. If he shows up even on his bad days, it means his love for you is stronger than his mood. That kind of effort is rare. That kind of effort is valuable. That kind of effort is love speaking in action instead of promises. So when a man shows effort, believe it, because effort might not come with poetic words, long speeches, or dramatic confessions, but it carries more truth than any sentence he could ever say. Effort is his real voice. Effort is his real heart. Effort is his real love. A man in love shows love in patterns, not promises. And that's the part most people overlook because they get blinded by big words and flashy gestures. But real love, grown, mature, deep love, reveals itself through repetition. It shows itself through the little habits he builds around you. It shows itself in the way he keeps doing the same loving thing over and over again, even when you're not watching, even when he's not trying to impress you, even when life gets complicated. A man can promise you the world in one moment of emotion, but his patterns tell you what world he's actually creating with you. His patterns are his truth. His patterns are his heart talking without his mouth moving. When a man loves you, he doesn't just say, "I love you," once or twice. He shows it in the way he consistently treats you. He protects your peace more than once. He listens to your worries more than once. He checks on you tenderly more than once. He steps up for you more than once. that consistency is not a coincidence, it's attachment. It's emotional investment. It's his way of saying, you are part of my life now, and I don't want to lose you. A man's love becomes visible through the rhythm he creates around you, how he makes you feel safe, how he shows up without excuses, how he repeats the same loyalty day after day, a pattern